quick little note to everyone, if you are a gamer, this video might not necessarily pertain to you. I created this video to specifically address people who want to get into gaming or who are new to gaming or who just maybe don't know what console to buy next. And so with that, let's jump into it. What's happening, everybody? 3G Geek here. This is a little bit of a guide to help you pick which console to buy next, or specifically which console is best for you if this is your first time gaming or you want to get into gaming. So either way, let's jump into it. The first thing that you need to take into consideration is your budget for gaming. Now, unfortunately, gaming is not a cheap hobby. It has a very steep startup cost, and then after that it gets a bit better, but if you're looking for a budget hobby, this might not be ideal for you specifically. But with that in mind, once you kind of figure out your budget for gaming, then you can kind of go from there. If you are a brand new gamer or want to get into gaming and you are just doing some initial research, the big question is, what kind of gaming are you looking to do? And what kind of experience you are looking for. So with that, we're going to dive into a little bit of the background of these different consoles, and attributes that I'm going to talk about are just kind of generic to the console/gaming platform itself. And so people who are gamers who may be watching this video, please don't just destroy me in the comments. Leave any helpful tips or tricks for other gamers and even for people who are looking to get into gaming as well. And so first off, I think to appease a certain group of people in the gaming community, we're going to talk about PC gaming. And with PC gaming, there is kind of a very large spectrum that you can hit. It can be pretty cheap, or it can be rather expensive as well. It all depends on what you're looking for, and again, going back to your budget, how much you want to spend. First off is PC gaming. Now, PC gaming can either be very cheap for initial startup cost, or it can be rather expensive. On the cheap side, I say that because a lot of people already have laptops or computers in their home or at their disposal that they can use to actually play games. And then from there, you just have to download the games themselves, which we will talk about in a quick second. On the more expensive side, there are gaming PCs out there that people have built that cost thousands of dollars, and these are top-of-the-line PCs. If you're a starting gamer, you can do what you want, but if you are unsure that this is a hobby that you want to get into, I would recommend staying on the lower side of things. And with that, we're going to backtrack a little bit and talk about the games that you can get on a PC. So, there are plenty of places that you can get games when it comes to PC gaming. One of the more popular ones, and probably one of the most convenient ones out there, is a application called Steam. And on Steam, you just sign up, you download the Steam application, and then you can start buying games. You will have to enter credit card information if you want to buy games online. And so with that, there is a wide range of games that you can get on a PC, anywhere from AAA titles, which are the big gaming companies that develop these huge games with a lot of production value, and they cost millions of dollars to make, all the way down to indie games, which these are games that are typically developed by a small group of people who have never really developed a game before, and they're usually much more creative and take creative risks than the AAA games. And you have everything in between. And so this offers a wide variety of games for you to try out, and so this gives you a lot of opportunities to try a whole bunch of different games, but granted, you will have to pay for a lot of them and try them. Next up, in terms of gaming, we are switching from PC to more consoles, and the first console brand that we're going to talk about is Nintendo. So the current gen console for Nintendo is called the Nintendo Switch. You may have heard about it. It has been making huge waves in the gaming industry for multiple reasons. I'm not going to get into those right now. But the overarching games that Nintendo typically produces are geared towards the more casual player. There are some hardcore people or hardcore players that are extremely dedicated to different games that Nintendo puts out. And with that, Nintendo also has a lot of different exclusives that they can offer on their console. So anything with Mario, Super Metroid, Zelda, Link, any of those are exclusively going to be found on Nintendo specifically. So that is the Nintendo Switch specifically, and you can usually pick up the Nintendo Switch anywhere from about $280 used to about $300 brand new. And the minimal price difference there is just specifically due to the popularity of the Switch right now. I would actually even be surprised if any gaming store had any Nintendo Switches used, to be perfectly honest. But that's beside the point. Oh, and also one little side note here, all of these prices that I'm going to be putting out there are all based off of GameStop's website. Now, there are different places that you can go and buy games. Find them on Amazon, you can go to other game retailers, you could probably even find stuff online on like eBay or anywhere else like that. These are just the benchmarks, so if you're looking for the best deal, you'll have to hunt around, and also keep in mind that prices are going to fluctuate depending on where you go from store to store, and even on the GameStop website, depending on the popularity of something, or even based upon different models of the same console. So the next current gen consoles that I want to talk about are the PS4 and the Xbox One. There's been a big debate between which is better, PS4 or Xbox One, and honestly, if you break both of them down, they are pretty much the same at this point in the console generation. So realistically, there isn't a huge difference between the two consoles. People are gonna fight me on that, just whatever. For the PS4, if that's what you're looking for, and make sure that you do your research before, and again, these prices are gonna fluctuate. The cheapest PS4 that I could find on GameStop was about $260 used up to $400 brand new, and there's gonna be a wide variety of prices in there, and that's gonna be due to different models of the PS4, because they have the original, like a PS4 Slim and a PS4 Pro. There are going to be bundles with different games that you can get as well, and bundles with more controllers versus one or the other. Just make sure that you do your research before you buy anything online to make sure exactly what you are getting. For the Xbox One, we're looking at about $200 used all the way up to $500 brand new. And again, it's going to be the same thing like the PS4. There were multiple iterations of the Xbox One. There's the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and the Xbox One X, which is the newest version of the Xbox One. And so with all the current gen consoles out of the way, all of those are good for people who have large budgets, who know that they're going to do gaming or are able to afford these newer consoles and take that financial hit. Otherwise, if you're going to be gaming on a budget, or you're new to gaming and you just want to give it a try without dropping $200 plus dollars on any sort of console, then these next set of consoles are for you, which are the previous generation consoles. The previous generation consoles for PS4, or for the PlayStation brand, is going to be PS3. For the Microsoft brand, that is going to be Xbox 360. And for the Nintendo brand, that is going to be the Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo Wii U, which are actually two different consoles. Last generation, there are bigger differences between all the different consoles than there are in the current generation when I just compared the PS4 and Xbox One. The PS3 and the Xbox 360 are different enough to be able to tell a difference aside from exclusives. The PS3 base price is about $100, and that's going to be used or refurbished off of GameStop. And again, make sure that you do your research to know exactly what you are getting. And the prices really kind of go up from there in terms of PS3, just because they're going to be bundling games and controllers, and it might be some sort of limited edition. So you'll have to do your research and figure out kind of what you're looking for and any sort of games that you're looking for as well. And that's going to be the same for the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 is currently priced at $80 for the console itself, and it goes up from there, again based upon bundles and different things like that. And next we have the last gen Nintendo consoles, and there's actually two of them. There is the super popular Wii console, which you may have one already, but maybe you'll have to invest into some new games or something just to try it out. And the Wii consoles typically start at about $70, and again they go up from there depending on bundles and all that stuff, as I had mentioned. The next console, which is actually the console before the Nintendo Switch, is the Nintendo Wii U, which was supposed to be a continuation of the legacy of the Wii, but it kind of flopped, and you could do your research on that. But either way, the Wii U console starts at about $130 on GameStop. And now, with all this information swirling around in your head, it is time to make that decision for yourself. And now I'm going to give a little bit of my personal opinion, just if you trust it, and you'll just have to decide for yourself ultimately. But in my opinion, if you are unsure if gaming is really going to be a hobby of yours, I would either go with an older generation of console like the PS3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, or the Wii U. Or even I could say PC if you have a laptop or a PC that no one is currently using, just because those are easy to get into, they're cheaper than the current gen consoles, and if you end up not liking it, then you'll only be spending like up to $100, like maybe another $20 for a game specifically. But if you are looking to get into gaming and you're still on a budget, but you're pretty sure this is a hobby that you can get into, you can sink your teeth into and really get into it, I would recommend going for one of the current gen consoles, because not that you'll be behind if you play the last gen consoles, but it'll be more up-to-date games and more recent games that you have probably seen that have sparked your interest in gaming, and so you'll be able to play those games specifically. And other than that, if you have an unlimited budget, realistically, and I kind of hate to say this, you can really just go crazy and do whatever you want, just because, like, since money is not tight for you, you could really just try out any game, any console, any play style, anything like that, and you will realistically be okay. And now, with my 2 cents thrown in, that brings us to the end of this video. Next up, I'm going to be doing a video on the type of games that you can get for a console, because there's a wide variety of games, and again, that'll be for people who are getting into gaming and have no idea what type of game they might be into. So to make sure that you see that video, hit that subscribe button and turn on the little bell so you know when I post it. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything else, please leave it in the comments below. And for any people who have been gaming for a while, if you have any other tips, tricks, or suggestions for new gamers, also leave them down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, or you even found it helpful, I would encourage you to hit that like button so that I know that I can make more of these videos, just so I know what you guys are kind of looking for. But either way, this is 3G Geek, signing off.